So in this video, I DM'd some of your favorite content creators in this space and asked them what's some advice that you have for our upcoming content creator in this community. And we got some interesting answers. But first, if you're new around here, give me a sub. So the first DM we're going to talk about comes from StrainShow. He's a content creator with over 300,000 subscribers and a catalog of classics to back up his advice. So StrainShow started off the DM by saying, so for someone who's just starting or thinking about starting a channel, I have 4 tips I think that will be helpful, and some are general YouTube tips and some are about Canada channels. So the first tip he gave is the big picture mindset. Don't do this for clout or money because honestly, you'll probably never get much of either. This isn't a fast or easy way to get paid or become known. It takes a lot of time, energy, and behind the scenes work that most people will never see. But if you're making videos about something you actually care about, like something you talk about even if no one was watching, then it'll feel more rewarding. That's what keeps you going. People like watching other people who feel genuine and unique. So just be yourself and talk about what you're passionate about. Second tip, try to help someone even if it's just one person. When you're making a video, think about the person on the other side of the screen. What are they hoping to learn, understand, or feel? Even if their problem is just that they're bored and want something fun to watch. Try and give them something that helps them. Teach them something, make them laugh, help them feel seen. Just give them a reason to click your video instead of the other millions out there. So the third tip is, titles and thumbnails matter more than you think. If no one clicks, it doesn't matter how good your video is. Your thumbnail doesn't need to be complicated, just make it clear, bold, and easy to understand at a glance. The title should make someone curious, because that's what gets them to watch. Think of it like packaging. Even great videos can get skipped if they're not presented in an interesting way. But that doesn't mean clickbait. It just means telling a story that makes people want to know more. So the fourth and last tip is, Canada content gets treated differently, so plan for it. In the Canada space, most people fight age restriction with every upload. Even if your video is purely educational, it can still get age restricted, and that hurts your reach. YouTube usually won't show age restricted videos to new viewers. It won't put them on homepage, and it won't suggest them after videos. That can mean the difference between a video getting 100 views and 100,000 views. And a lot of that just comes down to language and forming. If you avoid using words like, I can't say these words because like he said, I will get this video age restricted. So you can see the words in the DMs and then know what the words are. Avoid using these words in your titles, thumbnails, and intros, even if that's what your video is about. It can help you avoid these restrictions and get more views. You can say what you mean, just find creative ways to do it without instantly triggering the system. It's frustrating, but that's part of uploading in this community. And that's some good advice from StrainShow. I agree with everything he just said. You really gotta watch out what you're saying in your YouTube videos so you don't get age restricted. Also finding out what your audience wants from you. Like, I know people want news from me. Like, they're coming to my channel for news. So I always provide the news for them. And also, you have to do it because you want to do it. Like, you actually have to enjoy it. Like, money isn't gonna come for a while. So you really just have to be there for the enjoyment of the content. But thank you for StrainShow for actually coming and DMing me back and giving some really good advice. So up next we have CLTV, a content creator with over 200,000 subscribers and a decade plus of experience in this community to back up his advice. And CLTV actually sent over a video, so I'm gonna let that play and then give my thoughts on it.
What up, Blogger? Appreciate you asking me for a little bit of wisdom on this subject. And for me, one of the biggest tips that I would give is to definitely maintain your originality and be who you are, but make sure you're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Now, in a lot of cases, people are already making majority of the content that needs to be found for search engines, but you as an individual, you can be an entertainer, you can be an educator, you can be who you are, and that niche cannot be replaced. Oftentimes, you'll see people imitating and wanting to do whatever's hot and what the trend is, but individuality is definitely the key here. Being yourself and being honest and being transparent will really take you a long way, and maintaining that integrity all the way through is what will keep you going. You can manipulate the search engines and algorithm and get views and all these things, but once you're exposed, you're exposed. And if you're fake, people will find that out. So authenticity and keeping it real and doing you is hugely important. And it may sound cliche, but I'm telling you, that is the difference between an overnight success that disappears and longevity in your life. And one more quick actionable item is avoiding age restrictions. Do whatever you can do to follow the terms and conditions. And I know it sucks, and our plant is totally discriminated and hindered on this platform, but honestly, if you don't do that, your reach is going to be diminished heavily. Now, of course, we don't want kids to be seeing our content, but age restrictions can really hurt you. And getting those dialed in is the difference between hundreds of views and thousands of views. The biggest reason is when you share this content on different platforms, like let's say your website, an email list, or social media, people aren't able to click these things and watch them without logging in. And that means they have to open up the app themselves, and that's going to really kill your conversion rate. So do what you can to avoid age restrictions, but obviously it's not the end of the world. Our plant just gets restricted. Good luck.
So what CLTV said here is very important. Having uniqueness about not only you but your content is a key factor to making content, because if there isn't no reason to come back and keep watching your content, then what's the point? So having uniqueness and standing out in the crowd because you yourself or your content is unique is very important. And when it comes to age restriction, that's also important, because it's not like people making this type of content wants underage people to be watching. It's the fact that when you get age restrictions, it not only doesn't push your videos to sometimes your subscribers, but the homepage, it also makes it where new people just can't find you. So it's some really good advice he gave here. But I want to say thank you, CLTV, for reaching back out and giving some really good advice. So up next we have SMPLSCK, a content creator with over 200,000 subscribers and a decade plus of experience in this community to back up his advice. And SMPLSCK actually sent over a video, so I'm gonna let that play now, then give my thoughts on it afterwards.
The beautiful people of the internet, shout out to Liger. Thank you for asking me to be included in this video, and I'm sure you asked a lot of other people, so I'll try and make this quick. But being a content creator in this space, I've been doing it for about 12 to 13 years. I believe the first video I uploaded in this space was about 2012, so about 13 years ago, and it was like on a fake Atmos pen. And then my first cartridge video was in 2013. And the reason why I'm bringing up my old videos and whatnot is because when you are a content creator in this niche, just know that there's a lot of trials and tribulations. You don't get monetized, you know what I mean? The platform is against you and you may get deleted. You know, I've been deleted twice. This is my third channel, and I just want to let you guys know that it's not all sunshine and rainbows over here. You know what I mean? When you do this, you got to do it for the pure love of it, for the pure passion of it, and you got to show consistency. You know, monetization will come in a sense of like sponsors and whatnot, but if you're trying to get monetized from YouTube themselves, I'd say try TikTok, not YouTube. But YouTube is great because it's brought me so many dope opportunities. It's let me meet so many dope people, and all from the comfort of my own home. And for anyone starting, just know that you have a voice, whether you have 1 sub, 10 subs, 100 subs, 1,000 subs. My first channel, I had 200 subs, and I was spam emailing all these companies. One of these companies happened to be Yokan. And then we developed a 13-year relationship. So you never know what your videos might be seen by, you know what I mean? So just do it for the love and the passion of it, and things will come in place. Trust me, you know what I mean? I've been doing this for so long. I barely just had my big break, and you know, there's just dope content creators coming out like Liger, my cousin, you know, that's just doing new things in it. And he's very fortunate to be in a niche that can actually allow monetization, because he's not really a consuming person on camera. And that's the thing with WeedTubers or the content creators in the space, is that anyone can smoke in front of a camera. Do something different, you know what I mean? Stick out. And yeah, that's all I gotta give for, I guess, some advice. It was one shot. It's a bit long, so I do apologize.
First off, I want to say thank you for all the kind words, and what he said here is very true and good advice. Sometimes you're going to go through trials and tribulations when making this style of content. And even me, a person who kind of flies under the radar because I'm a smaller content creator and because of my style of content, I have to watch out what I say and watch out what other people say on my platform, because I will get age restricted and I will get demonetized. So it's not really about fighting the system, but learning how to get around the challenges of making content in this community. In the second part of his video where he talks about being unique, like I said previously, that's very important when making this style of content, but it's also important to be passionate about that uniqueness. Like, my whole thing is I like knowing what's going on. I like being the person that has all the information. I like knowing why this person doesn't like this person. I like knowing the ins and out of the community. That's like my passion about being unique, and it's very important. But I want to say thank you, SMPLSCK, for reaching back out and giving some really good advice. So up next we have Juggster, a content creator with over 30,000 subscribers, and in the past 6 months he's been blowing up because of the uniqueness of his content. And he said, best way to start out doing content is just be consistent and have fun with it. Also, TikTok and Reels heavily slept on. If you can stay consistent with short form content, the exposure you get is nuts. And I say, try to make yourself stand out in some type of way. Best way that comes to mind is doing something unique that someone isn't already doing. And lastly, it's important to tap in with the overall community of creators, making similar content with the people that support your videos in a way that they can feel welcome in your community. And I think this is some really good advice from Juggster. Now, I'm not going to talk about uniqueness again because I kind of been talking about that this whole video, but it is important. But the last part where he talks about collabing with other content creators who make similar content as you, that is a big thing, because like everybody knows when Eric and Yola and Goblin all collab, those videos get the most amount of views because it's colliding all the worlds together. So collabing and tapping in with other content creators in this niche is a big important thing. But thank you, Juggster, for reaching out and giving some really good advice. So the last person is Dyls, a content creator with over 30,000 subscribers and based out of the UK. And as of recently, he's been blowing up. And Dyls actually sent over a video, so I'm gonna let that play, then give my thoughts on it afterwards.
The homie Liger's hit me up and he's asked me, what advice would you give to the new aspiring up and coming WeedTubers? Shout out to my boy Liger, man. Keep doing your thing. You're killing it. Congrats on 10K. Now, as somebody else who's also a micro influencer, I feel like maybe I'm not the best person to be giving advice, but any advice I do have for you guys, stay consistent and keep fucking going, boys, okay? I started posting videos 2 years ago and we are now sat just under 25K on YouTube, which when you think about it in terms of YouTube isn't a lot, but 25,000 people, you could sell out a stadium. All you've got to do is keep it pushing, keep it stepping, especially here in this weed game where we're getting restricted, banned and accounts taken. You've got to be prepared for it. Just keep it stepping, keep pushing, stay in love with the game, and hopefully I'll meet you all at the top, man. We've got this. There's enough room for us all to eat.
So the energy in this is a really good way to end the video. It can take, 6 months. It can take half a decade. It could take a couple months. But one day after grinding, you will get your chance. And there's enough room at the top where anyone who wants to make this style of content can, and you can succeed. It's possible. Just keep grinding and keep going at it. But thank you to Dyls for reaching back out and giving a really good motivational video that anyone can get hyped over. So before I end this, I want to say everyone that was featured in this video will be linked down in the description. So go give them a follow. They all deserve all the success that they're getting, and I'm very grateful that they messaged me back and was, willing to actually come and help people, get some good advice, and get some good motivation. Until next time, peace.
She said I could have it. 2016, little bitch, I'm a savage. Johnny Depp's to a bitch, make all the baggage. Then I feel like I'm a fucking bandit. RIP, just walk out perks in the cabinet. Sold them off on my session and